Hey, what's up everybody? Getting ready to cold plunge, and my main man Jack is going to walk us through everything that I'm going to be experiencing, a lot of the benefits. So let's get started. Let's go. Let me rinse. All right. We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. All right, Jack. So what's going to walk me through? What are we going to do?
All right. Yeah. So you'll sit on the edge, step onto the bottom, gently ease yourself in. It's usually best to go in all at once, instead of little bit by little bit. Otherwise you have to go through adaptation every time you go a little bit deeper.
Nice.
When you go in all at once, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but the challenge is actually good to kickstart your brain into going into producing heat and keeping you warm for the cold plunge.
Sweet. This is awesome. Feels good, relaxing. Of course, this is not my first time. I try to come here about 2 to 3 times a week. The average, or the recommendation, is about 11 minutes per week is where you get the recommendation. And what are the benefits, Jack?
So the cold plunge has a whole lot of different benefits to it. One of the biggest ones is it's going to reduce the amount of pain and inflammation you're having. It's going to get all of your tissues feeling nice, especially when you're like feeling your achy joints when there's a cold front coming through. Getting in the cold water is going to alleviate a good bit of that. It's also a real good way of training the stress response. So we have stressors everywhere in our life. This is one of the stresses that's actually good for you.
Okay.
So being in that is going to help you stay calm anytime that life throws you a curveball.
Right.
It's also going to help you recover from any tissue damage that you might have. And it helps build that brain-body connection.
Sweet. This is good. So, and obviously, the other day you posted that you should go how low to really get some of the additional benefits?
So I personally like to go all the way in. I like to dunk my head either at the beginning. It helps my body really jumpstart the process of thermogenesis. And sometimes I like to dunk my head at the end just before I go into the sauna. It really gets all of you. It's really amazing the amount of heat your head maintains even though the rest of your body's cold.
Yeah.
But for most of the plunge, I like going up to my collarbone, my neck. That way I can get my shoulders, my arms. Having your heart space under is a real big challenge for some folks, especially first-time plungers. So if you haven't done it before, there's absolutely nothing wrong with just going up to your waist. But as you get used to it, going a little bit deeper each time really is a great way to go.
Oh yeah, talk to me. So next to us, there's 2 saunas right here. So it's called fire and ice, contrast therapy. Benefits or what?
Yes, so one of the biggest benefits to doing the contrast as opposed to just the cold or just the heat alone, you're going to get a full body circulation of blood. It's kind of like a workout for your cardiovascular system. So when we get into the cold plunge, all of our blood goes into our organs. We want to save like the functional bits. And so all of the vessels that are in our hands and in our feet, all of our peripheral blood vessels contract. They squeeze that blood out. And that's sometimes where you get those pinpricks in your hands and it feels real uncomfortable. That's the feeling of those vessels really just contracting up. So it's like doing a workout if you're not used to it. When you get into the sauna after being in the cold plunge, it kind of signals your brain like, oh hey, we don't have to preserve our organs anymore. This is a safe, good temperature. So you start circulating all of that deep blood back out to your system. So it refreshes all of your tissues as well as making sure that your heart is healthy.
Awesome. And that's how hot? That goes up to what, 192?
So we usually keep these right around 185 and we keep one in the 190 range.
Awesome. And then this is what, 44?
Yes, this plunge is right around 140, or not 144, 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Today it's at 44.6.
Awesome. This feels great. So yeah, obviously you got less than 2 minutes. What am I feeling right now? You know, for me again, doing this regularly, I'm used to it, so obviously I already know what to expect mentally and physically, but it's still cold, but it feels great. I have like that invigorating feeling right now. Talk about a tightness, it's pretty awesome. But when people do get in here, the biggest thing to me, that my recommendation is breathing and just keep calm, focused. So sometimes when you do come in and people kind of freak out, I say lean back, just try to relax and try to keep your eyes closed, short breaths, just breathe. Just focus on yourself, and then sometimes even relaxing your head helps a little more, just so you can just really stay calm and breathe. So ideally then you want to try to straighten out your legs and to get away from it, so this way you get back and really get the full circulation of the water. By the way, the more you move in the harder it is. And why is that? Why is it harder when you move in the cold water?
So when you sit still, what happens is your body heat is warming the water that's directly around it. And so you create what we call the warm pocket. When you move around, you pop that bubble, you circulate all the water. Now, one of the things that's an advantage of having our cold plunges is that water is always circulating, so you're not going to get that warm pocket as much as you would in an ice bath. But it still does happen, so move it around to get the heat cold.
Awesome. So now my 5 minutes is up, so I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk right over here into actually the sauna. And I'm going to be in here for about 15 minutes. Feel great. Feel amazing. I'm going to come in here and then I'll be in for 15. So yeah,
Enjoy.
you're going to see, check it out. This is it. You can just kind of see this in here. Whee!